So today our topic could be like CSS. Yesterday we have covered the HTML, and this would be the extension for HTML, like designing the HTML with CSS. So CSS is also known as cascading style sheets. This is mainly used for designing your application in an attractive and uh, proper manner, so that all your sections be embedded into a systematic design way. So I'll just share my screen, and I'll in this session as well, it would be like an interactive section. So I'd be using the Visual Studio Code, and I'll be writing the code. So if you get stuck in any of the area, you can stop me, and you can get clarified. So is my screen visible? Okay. So like I have created a folder called CSS. So I would be using these folder for using. So in order to use the CSS, you need to have an HTML file, and in the HTML file, you need to uh, place the reference to that CSS file. So let me first create a file name next.html. And before starting this, yesterday we have gone through this HTML course. So if you have not joined yesterday, you can go through the recording, and you can get a good understanding on the topic. So by entering the exclamation and pressing the tab, we'll be getting the sample. So I would be using some random data like hello world, and some other text like lorem. Yeah, these are the shortcuts for placing the dummy data here. I'll press this Alt, Shift, and F, so the code would be formatted. Let me copy this. Okay, let me copy this thing. So I will create a random two as well. List of styles. There's another. Beside this, I'll be using this anchor tag. I'll add the other reference to another HTML file here by clicking on it. Click here. So we can also add the symbol rectangle, circle, and yeah, these are the like dummy data. Okay, so this is fine, I guess. So before this, we'll just render this in our application. So this is the data that we have generated using this HTML file, and it is being rendered in our browser. So we'll add the styles for this page. Okay, the recording should be saved in the cloud. So I'll let the management know regarding the recording, so that they'll share you the videos of that. Yeah, so I'll add another file called styles.css. So .css is the extension for your CSS page. So you can use any of the name you want. So whichever name you want, you can give to your file. And so there are so many types. Like before going to this styles.css page, we can write CSS in three types. So one would be inline styles, like we have the tags, right? H1, like HTML tags, H1P, UL. So you can write directly by using the attribute called style. So if you select the style, you can directly write like color. Color would be red and size. So this is called inline styles. So you can directly write in the HTML content itself. So I'll just save this, and you can see the text is being changed from black to red. And in other way, you can also write style equal to, maybe you can give background color, I guess here. Background color green. So this is one way of writing CSS. So this background color is changed from, so this is inline styles, but the writing the inline styles is not suggestible, because your HTML and CSS will be embedded in the same elements itself. So it would make quite complete clumsy, and this is not suggestible. And once, if you have if you have this p tag, and in future if you have many children in this p tag, so all the childrens in the p tag will get affected to this particular inline style. So it is not suggested to make use of these inline styles. So I'm just showing you how we can write different types of styles here. So I'll just remove these. So in the same way, you can add the inline styles for all of the elements as well here. So next way is like including the style in our head itself. You can type like style, and here we have this h1, right? So you can select the element name as h1, and you can give like color. Before this, I will change color blue. So you can see the color is being changed from red to blue. So this is also another way of writing styles in the same HTML page itself. So next, if you want to color p element, then you can directly access this p element, and you can give, maybe I can change the color itself. So brown. So whatever the p elements that we are using, everything will get reflected here. So this is another way of using styles in our home page, like in the HTML itself. This is quite like it is used in less amount of time. Like if your HTML content is very small, you can go with this small HTML style tags here. But if you have multiple pages of your HTML files, so having these styles in each and every page, it would make, like, I'll create another file, for example, dummy.html. So here as well, I'll just copy some of the content from here. Instead of that. So I'll give the reference for that here from here. .html. So once I save this, and you can see the old this is the index.html file, and once I click on this tab, it'll redirect to this dummy file, but you can see the colors are not being reflected here. So you need to uh, have a separate styles for each and every page if you use inline styles or this type of styles. So you want the same styles to be applied for this page as well. This method is not suggestible. So it is like writing dummy data in each and every file. So what we can do is like we'll create a like we already created a styles.css file. I'll just add here H1 value color as green and value color as so. Once I save this, you won't see these changes in your application. Because why? Because you are not linking your file with the CSS. So in order to make the CSS file embedded with your HTML, you need to add a tag name link. So once you click on link, the relationship would be style sheet, because this .css is a cascading style sheet. So it will represent that this particular file is to be representing the style sheet, and you need to give the reference of that style sheet. So once it is done, after saving, you can see the particular color of the text is being changed. I'll just change this from, yeah, it's being changed. So in dummy file as well, I can use the same reference. So while clicking this, so once I'll click here, so if you go to the dummy file, this style is being this also being affected. So this is one of the best approachable way of writing styles, so that multiple files can access those designs. And another thing, if you want multiple style sheets as well, you can directly use this link, and you can add like style page to, if you have like multiple of designs here. So it is also accepted. So this is one way. And till here, you have any questions like 3 ways of writing our styles? Uh, okay. So yeah, these are the 3 ways of linking your HTML with CSS. So I'll go through the types of ways you can access this. So this is one way, like you are directly accessing the H1 tag, and you are giving the color, like you can also give like font size as one. So mainly we'll be using, so before going to this, uh, just show you here. So we have 2 types of positions, like defining the size of an element. We'll be using pixels, rem, em, percentage, vw, view height, etc. So there are many ways we can represent the size of an element. So most frequently we will be using these in our application. Effectively in any of the project, you will be using these extensions. Like pixel defines the pixel. So if you define the size of an element like 2 pixel, based on the though it is like small screen or big screen, it would be like 2 pixel. And coming to this, but using pixel is suggestible. But if your page is like changing from mobile device to laptop or desktop, so pixel is not suggested, because pixel would be like same in each and every device. So instead of that, you can use like rem, em, percentage, vw. Vw is nothing but view width, and vh is nothing but view height. So rem is like relative position. So based on the screen size, your size, the element size will be adaptable. So suppose your screen is mobile device, so if you give 2 rem, so based on the resolution, like maybe the screen size would be like 360 to 500. So based on that, it will be adaptable, like it would be adjusted to that. And if your screen size is like 900 to 1200 pixels, it's like a laptop, then it will just adjust it to that particular screen. So you need to use like maximum of like rem, em. Percentage is like uh, it divides your whole screen into 100%, and based on that, whatever the percentage you give, it will just take that. And view width and view height is also same to your device. So mainly it is you advisable to use these items. Okay, so just start with this. So one thing is like we can directly access the elements H1, P, and you can directly give the uh, styles for that elements. So I'll just this is one of the way. And the second way is like we can use universal selector. Universal selector is nothing but it is denoted by star mark and one curly braces. So if you would give any of the color like black, so all the elements would be converted to black here, because the universal selector would define each and every element in the page to be in this specific color. So once I refresh here, sorry, I'll just change to red. So you can see all the background color is being changed to universal selector defines the whole page item. So I'll just show this. And this is one of the way. And the other way is used like by accessing classes and IDs. So you can give the element as class, and you can give like dummy, name of the class as dummy. So you can access this in your style sheet. So the dot represents that this particular parenthesis that we are going to use is for class based, and we use hash for IDs. Like I'll just show you here. ID present ID maybe. So dot represents the it is a class based, and hash represents it is a ID based. So I'll just add this ID as well here. Me ID. So I'll just give here as maybe font size, font weight as bold. So you can use Visual Studio Code because it will give you all your auto completion suggestions as well. So color be pink. Okay. Font size, font style would be italic. And this is an example. So you can see the particular element is being italicized, and it is in color pink and bold. So I'll just add this thing as well. Color green, background color as yellow. Sorry, this ID. So you can see this particular element is accessed using ID, and this particular element is accessed using class. So mostly you need to use this class based design only. ID is used only for an unique element. Like suppose you have a div and you want to get the ID of the div. So then itself you need to add this ID, but most probably you need to use this class for your designing your elements. So while going through JavaScript, I will let you know how these class and IDs can be accessed through JavaScript and how you can make your web application like dynamic. So yeah, this is one way of representing. And you can if you want, these two things need to be in the same design. For example, just remove this color. So you want these two items to be having the same styles, then you can directly use same loop itself by using comma separated. Yeah. So if you save, all your things will be visualized. So if you want as many columns to have the same, you can write here itself by using this comma separated. And this is one thing. And most importantly, we have three items here. That is margin, padding, and border. These three are very important for any of the element. So before going to these, I'll just show you an example by taking one style sheet. Okay. This has brown. Okay, it's fine. So this is an element. So hello world is from H1 and this lorem ipsum is from P. So with these two things, I'll show you like what is margin, what is padding, and what is border. So I'll just open this paint before going to that. So I'll take this element, consider this as an element, and these as well. Maybe you take this one as H1 and this as P. Okay. And consider this as a whole web page, and I'm just showing these as margin. All these things outside of your box is margin. Here, H1 content. E content. So the content would be in the center of your page, and this thing, the space between your content and your borderline is known as padding. So this is very important concept for designing any of the elements. So please make sure you are understandable with this. And if you get stuck, you can stop me. So all the space between your content and your border is known as padding. I'll just color these as well. This would be your, this red color is your border. So for every element, there would be border, padding and margin. So by using these itself, you can design your element. So you got a clarity what is padding, what is margin and what is border, right? Please let me know if you're stuck, because this is very important concept for designing your element. These three things are very important. I think hope you understood. Is anyone got stuck here? Okay. Okay. So I'll just go back and design similar way. So I'll remove these things. So for easy understanding, I'll take an element called button. So I'll design this thing. So I'll directly access these in the styles. First, I'll save this. So you can see the button here. So the space between the list of styles and button, this is known as margin top, and this space is known as margin right, and the space between button and the edge of your browser is known as margin left, and the space between this would be style sheet and your button would be margin bottom. So with using margin, I'll change the position of that element. So margin left, I'll give like 10 pixels, 5 rem. So if you see here, see the button is being pushed from edge of your browser like window to 5 relative path. So I'll push from top to bottom list of styles on the button. So margin top should be 5 rem, and you can see this there would be like 5 rem of your space from list of styles to button, and bottom as well I'll give 5 rem. So you can see bottom as well, the space is being added. So if you want to give as it is already the space in the right of this button, so we don't require to give margin right. And this is basically the margin, the space between the pair, like the neighbor element from the top and the neighbor element from the bottom, and left and right as well. So this would be your margin. And directly, if you want to write the margin in a single line, you can directly write as margin. This would be your topmost, and this would be your right. This would be your bottom, and this would be your left. So how it would be like in a clockwise. First, the time will be from 12, and then it will go to 15, 30, 45, and 12, like 0. So in the same way, this would be top, this would be left, and this would be bottom, and this would be right. So if you want to write the margin in a single line, you can use this shortcut step. So you can see the button is being displayed. Or if you want to write, there is also another shortcut like margin. First element would be like top and bottom, top and bottom, and the next would be like left and right, left or right. So I'll give here 7 rem. This 7 rem would be uh, here. The 7 rem would be top 7, bottom 7, and the second 7 would be left 7 and right 7. So These also used here. So yeah. So this is about margin. So I'll show you padding. Padding is nothing but the distance from your content and your border of your element. So padding, I'll give padding top as 5 pixels. So you can see the 5 pixel. I instead of giving pixel, I'll give size here so that. So you can see 5 rem of your size is pushed from content onto your border. And the same way you can give padding top, padding left, left, in right. You can use any of your size for just for your understanding. I'm just using these 5 rem here. So you can see everything it is being pulled from 5 left, top, left, right, bottom. So you can also give this in a shortcut similar to the margin. You can directly give padding and you can give 5 rem top, 5 rem left, 5 rem bottom, and 5 rem right. So these also suggestible. Or if you want to give 5 rem top and 5 rem bottom, 5 rem left and 5 rem right, you can eliminate these two things as well. So same, you will get the same output. So but if you give the color, it would affect only the content of that element. So I'll give the color as maybe something like dark blue. Yeah. So you can see the button color is being changed from color black to dark blue. And I'll also change the font as well. Font size to large and font weight to bold. Once I save this, you can see the button is being bolded and large in size. So background color would be, I'll give any of the color. Yeah. So you can see the button background color would be this brown. And if you want to add the border, I'll just design a button, success button maybe. So it would be green in background and white in color. I'll just write here as success. Success. And I'll change the border as well. In border, we have, if you want to give the width of the border, you can directly give like 1 pixel of width, and it is like solid, maybe red. So if you save this, you can see a small solid red color is being, instead of 1 pixel, I'll give 1 rem maybe. So you can see the border is being instead of 5 rem, I can give just 1 rem. Yeah, so this is border of your element. And if you want to design your border like border radius, there is one command, border radius. It would be like 2 rem. It would be shaped accordingly. So your button is being shaped to curve. Instead of 1 rem, I'll just give 3 pixels. It should be small. Yeah. So success button. And if you want the pointer should be here, you will give as cursor pointer. So if I hover on this, I'll get this pointer. So this is pretty much about margin. This would be your margin. This would be your padding, and the outer it would be your border. Cover these things. And there would be like positioning as well here in. So I want this button somewhere in the top. So how can I design that? So by using the positions, like if the position is absolute, I'll just before that I'll add here for better understanding. I'll just add div. Inside this div, I'll just place this item. So div class as parent. Child. Okay. So here you can directly enter the attributes here, but you can also maintain a separate. So for parent, I'll just color. Background color I would give as any unique color. Light brown. Okay. I'll just share this. So you can see this is the parent, the div, and this is the button is nothing but the child. So you want this child to be removed and you need to be placed somewhere in the screen. You can use that as display position absolute. So if you click on this position absolute and save this, so you can see here the element is being 1 second. You need to give the attribute as well, top 0. So it is being shifted from this area to this area, like it is like top 0, left 0. So this is one way of your movement of your element. But this position absolute is not suggestible because it'll leave that space created by that element and it'll jump to somewhere else in the project. So the space that is created by the div is somewhere here. But by using this absolute, we are removing this element from the div and we are placing somewhere here. So we can play with this as well by using developer tools. I'll just go here and inspect this. Here, parent, okay. I'll just add, okay, before that I'll just add height and width of parent. It would be 20 RAM, it would be 30 RAM. First, initially I'll remove this position. So now the element is here. So if I add this position, and you can see it is being removed from this particular div and it is pushed somewhere else. So you can push some in as per your requirement. So I'll just inspect this. As a developer, it is always suggested to use these developer tools and make changes here and copy that code and use accordingly. So here I'll just remove this margin. Due to margin, it is being, so it is in the left 0 and top 0. So I'll just hover on that element. You can click here and you can hover on this element. You will get all the design of that. You can directly write here itself, like top 0, right? you can write like top 20 and left 20. So it is being shifted to left 20. You can write like left 70. I think the content that is being given by this element is less than that, so it is not being moved. And if you want to change you change the color as well, you can directly use this developer tools. Directly use this. You need to use these developer tools as much as possible for your convenience. So this one way, once you refresh the page, all these styles will be gone because these developer tools is like a temporary storage area. So position absolute is one thing which is used to remove your element from the parent, and position relative would be it won't get removed, like the child will be in the parent itself, but inside the parent it will move to a specific location, either top, left, right, bottom. So I'll show you relative, and I'll give you here like this thing. So you can see the particular element is being pushed to left. If you want to push that to right, you can give here as right. Bottom. Then pixel, it is being moved from the top. If you want to move like 10 pixel, you can directly use here. Or if you want to go to just give your prompt itself. Right. 2 pixel, bottom 5 pixel. So due to the size, it is not being shifted here. So this is one way, like if you want the content to be moved across your parent, so you can use this relative. If you want in some of your applications, so I'll just, there would be header that would be stick to the page. I'm just replicating this. So if you want this hello world to be fixed to this particular page without being scrolled, so you can directly use here as, for one thing, you have this dummy, right? So go to this dummy, position fixed. So you can see the particular element is fixed to that page, and it won't be in scrollable area. So it would be stick to this particular page, and this is one of the way for positioning a fixed element. And this would also remove the element from the area, and it will be fixed to the particular page. And I'll make this uh, second one as sticky. There is also another one called sticky. So at initial it will move, at some particular point it get stick to that particular browser. So it is nothing but sticky. So I'll just write here of using here for one particular element. I can directly use sticky. You need to choose the size as for position sticky. Of 10 pixels. So you can see here, initially the element would be inscrollable. Once the element reaches the top 10 pixel, it will get stick to that particular page, and it will be stick there constantly, and you can't able to move that. So initially it will be there. If it reaches the top as 10 pixel, then from there it would be stick to your page. So this is one of the positions here, and I have covered the positions as well. So we are left with have covered most things. And we also have a concept called Flexbox. So Flexbox would take some more time to get understand. Like it is one of the crucial concept for designing your application. So it has some of the features in that, like flex display, flex items, and you can play with the items, how to design, how to place these particular items in order in the positions like sequentially. So all these things related to this Flexbox I'll cover in the uh, next section maybe. And so for today I have covered most of the CSS styles, like how can we use the CSS styles like class, ID, and inline CSS styles, the CSS styles within the page, and using these external CSS files. So in the same way, you can go through this site called W3 Schools, and you can learn this CSS as well. So it will have all the concepts related to CSS. Yeah, this is a pretty good website. You can get from basic to advanced level knowledge using this website. You will have all the things like colors, borders, paints, fonts, display images, everything else. So whatever you require regarding the CSS, so it would be present in this uh, web page. So I'll just place link as well. So I'll just stop the recording.